Sure, I've just got another 20 minutes or spare time, so I've already done what I had to do in the last 20 minutes. I'm going to do another video and just say this. So, no, I'm not mentally retarded. I'll tell you exactly what happened. So, as soon as I was lied about, I started being a smartass. So, it is thought I was mentally retarded because of a little prank that I played on Mark Henner in IGA that was down near. So, I was actually going and visiting my Uncle Tony Pincham. He's married to Dad's sister, which is Auntie Linda. So Linda Fleming married Uncle, Tony. So her name's, now Linda Pincham. So I was down there in near Bowral. They moved from Parramatta to Bowral in 2015. So I was down there in December 2016 visiting them. But I had this little hanger-oner, Mark Henner, who was just a free prostitute thing, just something to have sex on the side with, basically. To me, and I was watching his behaviour, and I thought, something's up, because I was lied about it in 2015, and here we are, just a year later, and the same shit's happening. And just pin that for a sec. Just remember that on the 1st of January in 2016, I actually told Giovanni Consalvo, Gio, my ex-partner, that I said, I've actually got a bit of stalking happening, a bit of monitoring, a bit of surveillance crap from not only some low life scumbags to do with this Brett Aikenhead, but some organisations to do with like this reach out or some other shit, including what was it, acute care or some shit that had wrong information. And he's been a smartass, my ex. He was like basically grunted. Anyway, so I told him I was going to play a prank on these people just to try and get them to catch them out. So then you got to and pin those two conversations and go to another thing. You got to remember too that my mother, her sisters have always done these like little mentally retarded scams, and they've been doing it for years. And that's what gave Nan the stroke. I can tell you exactly now because Nan was smoking more and got really stressed, almost like what they're doing to me. They're putting this pressure on Nan. So, Mum's brother died, Denny, and Miriam Mahowski, Mum's younger sister, they started straight away saying, "Oh, Denny saw me before he died. He was going to change his will and leave everything to my kids." So there's all this like little corruption that my mother and her deadbeat sisters do. I can't stand them. Honestly, God, I can't stand my mother's sisters even more than my mother. So that says something. I had to put up with them. Robin Childs is a fucking window licking idiot. And I'll really get to concrete this right now and say, my grandfather Reginald George Purdy was alive right now, he would say it. So Robin Childs is not, they're not anything really that would represent our family at all. Okay. Robin Childs, Christy Childs, and Shane Childs are not. Okay, at all. They were the outcast. Pop joked around and said when they was telling me once about when she was born. Nan started it, said what a funny thing she looked like when she was born, this little fat thing, and Pop said she's leftovers. They're just the outcasts. They are completely nothing to do with how our family is, behave, or anything. And their friends aren't either. I was really close to my grandparents, Lola May and Reginald George Purdy. And I grew up with them. I was practically raised by them. If Nan was here now, she'll say she reared the twins. That's what she still would say. Or I reared the twins. And we were known as the Purdy twins at one stage, even though our surname's Fleming. Surname's Fleming, not Rackley to those idiots from Tamworth. Rackley's Carol's second husband. Fleming's her first husband. Purdy is her maiden name. Okay? So what I've said is the truth. I haven't elaborated on anything or haven't sort of, tried to make out anything. It's all facts. And it's there. It can be proven and backed up. So with this little crap that they go on with, now I can tell you right now, my grandparents hated their kids' friends. My grandfather said, like even my grandmother did too, but when you hear Pop starting to say it, you know that something, like, it's true. Basically, so even Pop Reg said about Mum that when she, like Pop said, "Oh, Justin, when your mother was still with your father, she had a real nice group of friends. She was working in the legal office in the city. She had a real nice group of friends. But she lost all those friends when she married Mark Rackley. So my father's Mark Fleming. And that's where people get... See, here's the thing. A lot of people I've met in the last 10 years keep thinking that my father's a character of a person that he's not. Because they're talking about the character of the person that's Mark Rackley. Mark Rackley is a drug-using, cannabis-smoking, alcoholic nurse. That's Mum's second husband. My father's Mark Fleming, her first husband. Mark Fleming's lovely. Flemings don't really drink much. They're, aperitif here or there. Dad's a lovely man, retired builder. Last job he built for, was a place in Erina Fair where they were doing the inside of Westwood shopping complexes. But he's a really good builder. He actually did the refurbishment of the Palace Hotel there in Haymarket and extended the Palace Hotel into the food court area of Haymarket that the company did as well. That's my dad. And so the problem is that idiots think that my stepfather was my dad, and therefore the description of my stepfather has been attached to my father. And this is just going around in circles. So not the case. And, again, my grandparents, my mum's parents, if they were here, would be like, well, your mum had good friends. Different types of people. Before she got with Mark Rackley, and then once she got with Mark Rackley, the only people that she could hang around with were Robin Child's friends. And they did not like Jeff Burgess, I can tell you now. It had nothing to do with him being gay. Pop said to me straight away, in February 2001, they could not stand him. And the reason being was because he was a low socioeconomic piece of shit. His family were just lowies. And Pop didn't want his daughters hanging around it. But like Pop said, I never had a say, did I? And that's what, you could hear Pop screaming at Nan all the time to control her daughters. Nan was just so, relaxed with her daughters. They're feral. They're uncontrollable. And my grandfather used to scream about it. He used to scream how his daughters were feral and look at their friends. He hated their friends. Oh, and I can tell you now, he hated Kerry Adams. He did, he was just polite and nice because he had to. Otherwise, he'd be ganged up on by women. And that's basically it. Pop told me. And I can tell you exactly how, because Pop smirked. Okay. Back in the year 2000, it was Mother's Day. Kerry Adams brought a bunch of flowers into Nan in Kerry Road. She was cutting the stems off him. She cut her finger. She came out to the boat out the front of the house where myself and my Pop was. So we're working on the boat. We're wiring up something. I think it was where it was something to track where the fish were or something. Anyway, we're wiring up something. Anyway. On Pop's boat. Comes out. Kerry shows Reg. My grandfather says, Reg, you reckon that needs stitching? Goes, nah, you'll be fine. Running under hot and cold water, he says. She says, I'm going to go up to the medical centre to see anyway. He goes, all right. So she goes up to West Point Medical Centre. And Pop, as soon as she drives reversed out of the driveway, Pop looked at me and he goes, it's going to need stitching. Smirked at it. I'm like, why didn't you say it needs stitching? He goes, she would have asked me the driver. Pop really didn't like her. Pop couldn't stand her. Thought she was a junkie. And that's where all this bullshit started from. So Nana Pop said, oh, the crap with Morgan, all Kerry's kids are freaking mentally retarded. They've got Asperger's or some shit. And that's to do with Kerry. And then Pop used to get the shits. They had this conversation, you get the shits and starts talking, oh, you're not going to tell me that she's not this and she's not that and so forth. Look at her, and then they'll start on, about Robin and crap. And then, because of the shit that they all carry on with. So, mum and mum sisters. Oh, Nan and Pop argued every single day about the bullshit scams that their daughters were carrying on with. And that's the truth. That's absolutely the truth. Now, when they tried to do these scams back in 2012, and then Nan was fucking bawling her eyes out. And I'll tell you why she was bawling her eyes out. Because she's there, she's grabbing hold of my arm, really, really tightly, grabbing hold of it, crying, the poor thing. Bawling, and she's like, but Marianne. And I'm like, oh, Nan. Yeah, of course, fucking Marianne. I'm sick of telling you about Marianne. She says, but your mother, I could see your mother doing stuff like that, but Marianne's part of it. I'm like, of course she's fucking part of it, Nan. Marianne's a fucking scam artist. You can't see it. Not long after this, Nan had a stroke. They gave Nan a stroke. Oh, they gave her 2 heart attacks and a stroke to 3 women. They'll give me a heart attack and a stroke too if these cunts of women don't fuck off. I want nothing to do with them. Look, make no mistake, I hate their fucking guts. I hate Robin Childs and Mary Mihowski's guts like you wouldn't believe. Make no fucking mistake. Okay? You have to deal with my mum. Like my nan used to always say to me, oh, your mother's your mother. You can meet up with her for a coffee, can't you? And put all that stuff behind. But my daughters, the other ones, you're their whipping post. They gossip about you, Justin. And I'll give you a great example. My nan would ring me up. She goes, all right, I've just had my lovely daughters here. Justin, I've had Robin Lee here. I'm like, what'd you say, Nan? Nan told me every word about Robin. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to ring up. Nan's like, don't you dare. I'm telling you in confidence. I'm telling you for good reason, because Reg and I have both told you, Justin, that you tell them too much of your business and all they do is gossip about you. I've told you before how Robin is, and she gossips about you. They just want to, because they've got issues about us being close to, being Reg and Nan being close to Amanda and myself. And all she wants is something to gossip about. I've told you before, and you won't listen. And that's what Nan was like, oh, don't you worry, I know everything that fucking little cunt Robin said. I'd love to smack the shit out of that bitch. But I'll just let sleeping dogs lie, because eventually, well, you know, her health conditions are going to catch up with her. I hate her guts. She said, make no mistake, I fucking hate Robin Childs and Krista Childs like you wouldn't believe. But I had no choice but to bite my tongue and put up with them. Just for the simple fact that my Nan said, if you say anything, I'm telling you now, that will stop me seeing you. Nan was that scared of him. And apparently that's what Denny knew back in the year 2000 when he pushed Robin Childs through the back door in the toilet. Okay? Because Nan told me. Because Robin Childs told me bullshit. We're sitting at Bose in Main Street, Blacktown. She told me bullshit. I walked inside the front door. Nan was up the hallway. Said, come up here. She goes, what did this tell you? I told her. He goes, no. That's exactly that. No, Justin, no. That's not what happened at all. And that's exactly how she spoke to me. And then told me, she goes, now I've told you. How many times have I told you? Yeah, Nan didn't have a good word to say about Robin. They just kept it all together for the family. She's a fucking little cunt. So is her fucking daughter. I love to smack that fucking little cunt. Christy Childs, black and blue. She's a fucking bitch. Nan used to say I never flogged her hard enough. I love to take that fucking little cunt and flog her. She's a piece of shit. So they've been doing these major retarded scams for years. So back then, even Nan and I talked about, she goes, oh, now they've brought in Wade, Colette's son. I was like, oh, what? Like, oh, because he's got this and that. It's like, oh, his father was a friggin' Pat. Wade's father was an alcoholic, and he whatever else he was on, probably speed, and he belted the shit out of Colette when she was pregnant. And that's why Wade's the way he is. I'm like, I know. Colette showed me the photos, no? As what? I said, yeah, back years ago when I was on the Central Coast. Dad's, Colette showed me the photos when she was in hospital. When Pat flogged her when she was pregnant with Wade. She goes, yeah, well, that's why Wade's the way he is, not some hereditary shit. I'm like, I know. This is all the conversation my nan and myself had back in 2012 and 2013 because of mum and mum's sister's little scams. So they're doing this little mentally retarded scam yet again. So then from 2016 to 2018, I thought, fuck this, I'm going to play these organisations. First, I was pretending that I was a drug user. Then I was pretending that I was mentally retarded. Just to fuck them over. I thought, if they're related to my mother and my mother's sisters, I hope to God I fuck over these people like you would not believe till there's nothing left of them. And that's the truth. So if you actually knew the background of the family, like if my grandparents were standing next to me right now, they'd be proud. Because I can tell you the conversations we had about their daughters, they hated them. They had no choice, but they felt obligated because they were the kids. But I tell you what, they pushed them so far. I tell you what, they would have been parents that would have drowned their fucking kids. They hated them. They hated their daughters like you wouldn't believe. And Nan would sit there and say, if I could have just had you and Amanda, I would have been happy. And I used to sit with my grandparents. They used to sit there and they used to say, you know, we were happy with 4 kids. I'm like, oh, we should never have had friggin' daughters. Wish we never had friggin' daughters. Wish we never had friggin' daughters. We were friggin' happy if we had friggin' daughters. That's what I used to always say. Could not stand them. Couldn't stand them. A lot of them. And that's the truth. What I've even said about Mum, how Pop was, you know, happy that one of his daughters were going to end up like Nancy, but didn't end up being like Robin, didn't she? And that's what he said. That's not a compliment. Couldn't stand their friends. Couldn't stand the people they hung around with. To the point that in the year 2000, Nan sat me down and talked about the abos that Robin Childs hangs around with. And more importantly, Paul O'Brien's wife, Karen, or Kerry, whatever, her mother, Sue. Like, they actually wanted me to know exactly how they felt about their friends. You know, and yeah, and then Nan turns around and tells me some truth about Sue and Denny. How do I know it? Nan told me. So, and then Nan told me about Mary. Oh, Marianne's got a short memory. She forgets how Karen treated her in high school or something. At Evans High. Is that all right? Yeah, so I know everything from Nan and Pop. So anyway, every time that Robin left there, Nan was on the phone to me and said basically, like, you know, keep your mouth shut now. When I'm dead, you'll never have to see him again. Wait till I'm dead, do whatever you want. I said, when you're dead, Nan, I'm going to raise hell. when you're dead, I'm going to raise fucking hell on your little cunt fucking daughters. I hate them. And Nan's like, I've told you, you're their whipping post. They make use out of you. They just want something to gossip about. They're trying to discredit, like my grandparents saw that my mum's sisters, their entire focus on their entire life was trying to discredit my twin sister Amanda and myself to my grandparents so they could big note themselves and feel good. It was always this jealousy. It's like, oh, Justin, you're no longer the favourite. You've got the issue with it. And my grandparents knew it. It's like, this is because that you and Amanda are our favourite. You know this. This is why they treat you like this. I'm like it's them that have the issue. Yeah, it's them that are missing out. I mean, I've enjoyed the experience of my grandparents growing up with them, having them raise me. I've enjoyed with my great-grandmother and my great-uncle, Leo Patrick Sayer. And one thing I can honestly say is I've never enjoyed one moment ever being around my mum's sisters. And that's one thing I sit back and say, that this was an obligation that I did to keep the peace in the family so there was no arguments. And that's a fact. And the little scrubber cunt, Christy fucking Childs, that little piece of shit. Yeah, someone fuck me dead. Nan used to say that she never flogged her hard enough. I never flogged Christy hard enough. And Christy was the only one of the grandkids that she did flogged. Funny enough, she should have flogged her daughters like that. Should have fucking flogged her daughters like that. I'll tell you exactly what happened. Christy Charles was a little fucking bitch. She's on the living room floor and she's spinning around. And every time she got to Nan's glass china cabinet, she'll kick it. She went around again and Nan would like, stop it, Christy. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. She kept doing it. So Nan fucking flogged her. Oh, you couldn't flog that little cunt hard enough. She's a bitch like her fucking mother. And this is the truth, what I've said. So those three pieces of shit need to piss off, drag them back to where they came from. I don't want to ever see them again. Nan's dead. I have no reason to see them. And anyone that's friends with them, you're a poor judge of character. I would say more Robin and Mary Ann's friends. You're a poor judge of character. If you knew my mother back when she was with my father, then I would be, more, okay, I'll talk to you. Back when mum was good, sure. Before she got with her second husband, People like that knew mum when mum used to be always with Pop, Reg. Yeah. Okay, they're a different group of people. I mean, especially those horse industry people back then and the racing industry and so forth. Like Julia Muscat. God, I haven't seen Julia Muscat for years. But with Peter Sullivan, is he dead? I haven't seen any of them for years since let me go back from my records. I'll tell you the last time I saw them was when I broke the sub in my Alfa Romeo. It would have been 2006, 2007. It's my Alfa Romeo. I broke the sub. Mum pissed me off. So every time I used to get pissed off, I used to go to the Gap. Not for suicide. Jesus Christ. It's meditation, just relaxing. I'm like, let it go out into the ocean. This is blowing out into the fucking ocean, into the Tasman Sea. It's like I was pissed off, Mum. Like she started on me. We're at the racing ball in Penrith, and she fucking started because I was late. I'm like, I've got to work. And she goes, you couldn't take the night off work. I'm like, no, I can't take the night off work, Mum. It's a Saturday night. I'm still here, and she started on me. Julia Muscat was there, which is Julia Muscat's daughter. Peter Sullivan. Oh, Peter Sullivan saw it too. Oh, you've pissed your mother off this time, Justin. She literally, I've walked over and said, when did you kiss her hello? And she literally stood up and walked across to make a scene in front of everyone at the racing ball and walked off. And I was like, you fucking bitch. Peter Sullivan saw it. Who else saw it in the racing industry? Anyway, I was like, see ya. I'm like, I've just fucking finished. Well, I've been working all day doing labouring, worked all night at Star Casino. I'm tired. I've come out to the ball to have a dance with you. That's it. So I jumped in my car, pissed off. I'm like, oh, I'm fine now. Come back. I'm like, I'm not fucking coming back. You've pissed me off. So I drove from Penrith back home to Surrey Hills. And then I went up to the Gap to Watson's Bay because that's my meditation area. When every time I get pissed off, I go there to relax in. So I went there. And back then there was no fence, so you could go right and just lay. You could hear the ocean. It's so relaxing, and there's sandstones. So back at the Gap, there's actually these great sandstones that used to hold the cannons, and you can actually lay your body in the sandstone itself. It's so fucking... You can't do it now because some dickheads put a fucking fence there because stupid people fall in. It's like, mate, we're not all fucking stupid, mate. Like, you know, Jesus fucking Christ. See, to try and get to it now, you've got to jump over the fence to get to these sandstones, and you get in trouble. I don't know. Some dickheads, you get in trouble, you jump the fence. Anyway. But some fucking losers put a goddamn fence there and you can't get to where the sandstones hold the cannons. So, anyway, you lay in this sandstone spot, your body sort of soaks in this sandstone here like this, and you've got the ocean just here, like, built in against like the cliff face, and you can look over this way to the city, and it's the most tranquil, beautiful, relaxing spot to ever be in. So every time I'm pissed off, I'm like, fuck this, I'm going to go meditate. Just lay and almost sleep inside the sandstone, and you'd hear the waves. This is so nice and relaxing. There's some dickhead years ago said I was suicidal. I'm like, fucking not suicidal. And I'm fucking Roman Catholic, thanks. Don't fucking accuse me of being suicidal. And yeah, whatever dumb cunts want to start this shit and say, oh, he hasn't grown up religious. Yeah, I fucking have grown up religious, mate. I was baptised as soon as I fucking came out, thanks very much. And I was in Blacktown Hospital. I've got my baptism here as well. I had 2 baptisms. One at Blacktown Hospital, I was first born, then transferred, wrapped in full, transferred to the RPA, and then the second one was at St. Patrick's Church in Blacktown. That was mainly just a naming thing. Yeah, because strict Roman Catholics, we were premature babies. We were the youngest surviving premature babies ever. In 1979, we broke records, Amanda and myself. They didn't think we were going to live, so as soon as Mum went into labour, my grandparents called the family priest, and they were there to baptise us. Now, I've grown up with family priests in the house all the time, and nuns. I've grown up in Roman Catholic schooling, St. Aidan's Roman Catholic School and Lady Rosa College. And I'm actually just going to quickly look for my, if it's here, my baptism certificate. Actually, I think I made a copy of it for immigration. So, yeah, so religion, strict Roman Catholic. Have been strict Roman Catholic since hundreds of years in the family. And Uncle Fred and Big Nan, well, great Uncle Fred's Leo Patrick Sayer, all the family are buried in the Roman Catholic grounds, Field of Mars, there in Ryde, which is where most of them are buried. My family, most of them are buried in Ryde. I've got over here. Probably not. I know. I might have this lot of documents. Hang on. I might have this stack of documents I gave to immigration just so they know me. So, no, I am grown up very religious. Extremely religious Roman Catholic. My family. Church all the time. Church Wednesdays. Church, this is at St. Aidan's. Church Wednesdays. Church Fridays. Church Sundays. And that's true. Even when we were riding at Kamara Pony Club in the suburbs growing up, or going to Castle Hill Jamboree, we actually would have to miss part of it on a Sunday because during those times we were still very strict religious. And Latin was taught in those days as well at school, and it was. I think Mum got more relaxed when she moved. But no, we are strict Roman Catholic in the family. Right back, so yeah, Lola was a strict Roman Catholic. Lola's mother Mary, there you go, Mary, strict Roman Catholic. Her mother Julia, and Julia's mother Bridget. And so it does go for the women in the family. I should have it here. Okay, I'm going through, I'm trying to look down here, go through a crap load of documents to try and find my. Anyway, take my word for it. My baptism certificate. Whoops, because I don't have to tear this because this is actually all done for immigration, so I don't want to ruin it. I've already opened it enough. That's all done for immigration. So immigration has this in a PDF format that they can read, and here's the originals. So I don't want to actually open it or tear it. And you can find my baptism certificate there. And you can see that it was Father Henna, which is the cousin of Father Henna from Armidale, actually. There was 2 Father Hennas. One of the Father Hennas, the one from New England, actually went along and became a bishop. So one Father Henna baptised Amanda and myself, Amanda Lee Fleming and myself, and the other Father Henna buried a half-sister of mine and baptised the other half-sister. And I think it was Bishop Kevin Manning did my confirmation. Was it Bishop Kevin Manning? I'm pretty sure it was Bishop Kevin. Okay, you know what? Let me find it now. They did my confirmation. So I grew up with Latin. I grew up with knowing my name as the biblical sense in Latin, and so forth. So, which is where, when I actually used to take my religion very seriously. So when these arseholes not make up, don't you dare fucking make up stories about me, mate. Yeah, it was Bishop Kevin Manning. There we go. My baptism certificate. Bishop Kevin Manning. That's in my confirmation. And there you go. Father Hannah. Alright. So yeah, so when we were born, Amanda and myself, we broke records to actually survive because we were born dead basically. That young to be premature babies. And as soon as Mum went into labour, her parents called the family priest. The family priest was there in the delivery room, baptised us straight away. Then we were wrapped up, wrapped in foil. Wrapped in foil, and that's where Pop said he refused to ever let Nan bake in foil ever again. Because they just kept reminding him of Amanda and myself. So they wrapped us in foil and airlifted us to the RPA. And Amanda went into the children's hospital. That was in Camperdown. Nan goes, "Oh, your mother, are you going to get up and see the twins goodbye?" Apparently Mum was exhausted and sleep. She goes, "The twins are being airlifted. Carl, you're going to get out of bed and go and see them." That's what. So Nan, it was always negative towards Mum. Nan and Pop was always like, "We were there. Your mother couldn't even get out of bed." You're going to say, like, that's how they used to talk. There's all these little stories going around. I don't know if it's true or not. But Mum probably was exhausted because she went into labour. And she got under labour on a horse. I thought Mickey got out and was up near... I don't know. Or wasn't one of the horses up near Homebush Bay. And she was with her stepbrother who happens to be... Well, not stepbrother. Her adopted brother happens to be her cousin. Okay, there's a lot of this in the family. So Mum's adopted brother, which is Raymond, is actually her cousin. So it's Pop's brother, Raymond Sr.'s son, Raymond Jr. And they're up at Lennox Head. Anyway. And she was with him and, or something. I don't know, there's a story about him having heartburn or his son having heartburn or something. And meanwhile, Mum's in the back of the car in labour. And one of the horses got out and was somewhere like in Homebush Bay or something. And Mum jumped on the horse out to ride it home or something. Or had to catch the horse and went into labour or something. I don't know. There's something like that. You'd have to ask her. I wasn't born yet. So I don't know. But you hear this and then Pop, there'll be other stories where Pop will be like, you know what happened? So, because what was going on with the labour and so forth. So I went out to where the candy machine is. And I put in my money, and next minute the door opened in front of me. And the chocolates are there, and all this money's there. And you know what I did? I slammed the door shut, blessed myself, and said, "If there's a God, make those twins live." Like this. That's what Reg used to always say to me. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the truth. So, I don't know if Pop was as religious as... Well, he was. But he is old school. He used to always say Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. But... Nan's brought up religious. Nan's brought up in Roman Catholic school. Nan's sister, Auntie Mari, was caned for not wearing her gloves. Was it her gloves or a hat on the way home? Actually, the nuns, Auntie Mari used to talk about one of the nuns. She said, oh, they had her retired. Auntie Mari called her a bitch. Auntie Mari was a rebel. That's Nan's sister, Mari Keegan. And basically, there was a lady that had a stutter. Well, a girl in their class had a stutter. Roman Catholics, you don't have a disability, thanks. And she threw a ball at her or something. I can't remember. Like Auntie Mari used to tell me. So because we're all raised by nuns and priests. Anyway, the nun, she was a vicious nun. Auntie Mari said, and like she broke the girl's nose or something. This nun. They're dead now, but Auntie Mari's daughter is still alive up in Foster, and that is Sharon Newcomb. Sharon Newcomb's up there with her husband, Charles Chica Newcomb. Their kids live on the Central Coast. That's Sean and Cherie. Actually, no, Cherie's up Foster now as well. Sean's just left on Central Coast. Anyway, so Mari, we used to tell about one of the vicious nuns that actually broke this girl's nose. They had her retired after that. So, and I'll tell you exactly what happened is that, it was if this one, this Canaan, or one of the Canaans. See, my great-grandmother Mary did so much work for the church and the priests that what she did was she took the kids out of school. So she took Lola and Brian and Auntie Murray out of school and refused to send them back to school until that nun was retired. Because of Mary, my great-grandmother. Yeah, they were big on the church. They were big on the Roman Catholic Church. My great-grandmother always did a lot for the Roman Catholic Church. Her daughter-in-law, which is Margaret Keegan, did a lot for Balmain Church. So they're massive, big Roman Catholic family. Massive with the church, with the Roman Catholic Church. And that's that story. That can be confirmed. You can go ask Mum's cousin. Maisie, Mary, took the kids out of school and refused to send them back to that school until that nun was retired. The priest came to their home and was begging my nan to be back in that church. That's my great-grandmother, Mary. And she's like, not until that nun's retired. Like, they had the pool. My mum's family had a massive big pool in the church, so much so that in 2003, a priest came out of retirement. The priest came out of retirement to do Margaret Keegan's funeral. Now, you can go ask Brian Keegan, her son, this. Mum's cousin still lives in Leichhardt. So the priest actually did come out of retirement to do Margaret Keegan's funeral because of her work in the Roman Catholic Church. Like, they had pool in the Roman Catholic Church, the Keegans. And that's my grandmother's father's family. So, yeah, you'll find that out. If you actually know any information about me, you'll find out that there's, a massive... They're actually really strict Roman Catholic religion. So when someone wants to make up a story, I'm there going, do you fucking little cunt? Because, excuse my language, Lord. But first thing is, and I know what a sacred thing it is to be buried on Roman Catholic soil, how my grandparents were with this, is a simple fact is that if I even contemplate suicide, that is a massive big no-no of the Roman Catholic Church. And if I ever died through suicide, I can't be buried on Roman Catholic soil, so don't you dare make up these bullshit stories about me. That's what I was getting at. The long story around there. Yeah, these are organisations that seem to be so leftist, think they can get away with these bullshit stories. Like, you've picked the wrong fucking family, mate, to actually make up stories. I wish to God my great-grandmother was alive today, and she was a hard woman. Mary chased her husband, so your grandfather Arthur Keegan, down Piper Street with the Kirby, the big old Kirby vacuum cleaners, the uprights, the big metal things. Like, you need to be a weightlifter to lift those things. My great-grandmother hurled that over her shoulder and chased her husband down Piper Street with that in Leichhardt because he was drunk or something. She didn't like men that were drunk. There's another story too. He used to come home and throw the hat down the hallway, that long hallway in the house in Piper Street, Leichhardt, 43 Piper Street, Leichhardt, and would throw his hat down to see if Maisie was up, because you're not allowed to be drunk in the family. But that's the thing. This whole bullshit as well. Like, they seem to forget that my grandmother was extremely against drunks. She would flog you. My great grandmother would flog you, and she was the most hardest, stone cold woman, and I was her favourite. Oh, you'd never see her crack a smile on her face unless I was around. She was staunch, tough, and cold, almost like a German to look at. Like, she was so cold, Maisie, until I was there. And ask anyone in the family. And she was an amazing seamstress. She was a dressmaker. That's what my great grandmother was. She was a dressmaker, and her husband was a jockey. So that's all facts.